Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. Here bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. We have 2 lands and an explorer with multiple ways to make land drops. Is this the one we want? I think we're going to do 1 mulligan. And we're going to regret our mulligan there. Wow. Alright, this does let us go get an amulet. Is it going to be enough? No, probably not. Alright, well, we'll keep this. What do we want to put to the bottom? We definitely want the amulet, cavern, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put this to the bottom and this to the bottom. Play a cavern, name dinosaur. Pass the turn. The gig is gig. I always say gig. The jig is up. They know we're a dinosaur deck. Domain maybe. Give us a 3-drop. Hey, right on time, Mr. 3-drop. So we will play Assassination Sanctuary. Return the cavern to our hand. Play the pugnacious hammer skull. That was a good draw. We needed a 3-drop to maximize our start here. Now we would love to hit another dinosaur. Like a Wayward Swordtooth would be our best draw. Anything that lets us attack without putting a stun counter on the pugnacious hammer skull would be great. Where's the Saga? You know, it's not so bad. Next turn we're getting down this Regisaur Alpha. So we can hit for 6 this turn, or it gets a stun counter and it doesn't untap next turn. So I think we're just going to hold back on combat for now. We could just go to combat, attack for 6, and then go the route of Constructs again while we make our land drops. We're going to go ahead and get in. We'll take the stun counter. I'm not sure. This is one of the situations I haven't been in a lot. We don't have another 3-drop to play, unfortunately. Next turn we could get down this Regisaur Alpha and attack for 3. Or we can just make the Constructs. Keep our hand, preserve our hand against whatever our opponent's up to. Field of Ruin. Never mind. We will no longer be able to make Constructs. Regisaur Alpha Plant. Ooh, they're going for the bounce land. Sneaky, sneaky. We will get Forest. What do we draw? This Fascinating Sanctuary that we just... So we tried this in one of our other games, and I think it was the right play when we already have an Amulet to figure out. We're not as all in on getting a ton of mana out as we can. Depends on our draw, of course. But we're not as all in on getting multiple Amulet Vigors down to really go off and win in one turn. If we have a handful of really big dinosaurs, maybe, but taking advantage of Urza Saga in this way to grow an army without committing what's in our hand to the board, especially because we only have 1 piece of action, is Biting Grace. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1. You gain 1 life. Return target creature card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard to the battle. When mana value of 1. Okay. So opponent is got some janky combo stuff. Sacrifice Kingdom of False Hope. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. So is this their combo of Never Dying? Beginning of your end step. Choose one. Return target creature card from your mana. Man. Now my opponent's good luck seems like it might have been meaning something else. Alright, so we need to draw into our Boseiju. Wayward Swordtooth is nice. We can go Wayward Swordtooth, bounce land, get up to 4 mana. So we play the bounce land, tap it for 2. Return this to our hand, play the bounce land, tap it for 2, get 4 mana. Okay, so our opponent is going to prevent all combat damage for the rest of the game until we find a Boseiju. So we're going to play it a few times. We're going to play it until they show us that they can beat us in their own way or until we get bored. And then we'll go to sideboard. We have Forces of Vigor to help combat this Abiding Grace. Excuse me. I moved the microphone right in time for me to swallow my coffee. So now they can go get another one or something else. Haywire Might. Yep. Now they can sack to blow up our Urza's land or Amulet of Vigor. Opponent's not chatting with me anymore after their good luck, so makes you wonder. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So we cannot do everything we want to do, unfortunately. We gotta return a land to our hand. So we'll return this back to our hand. We're here to cast dinosaurs, so in some ways we're okay with our opponent just keeping us from doing damage, and we're just gonna keep attacking and keep attacking just for fun until we get bored, like I said. If I had more time, if I was in another state of mind, I might just do this for as long as I could. It'd be nice if our opponent, I mean, I assume our opponent is not the chatty type since they haven't responded to anything I've said and said good luck. And you read that as, oh, they're being nice, but in reality, you're like, oh, okay, well, were they really just being snarky knowing what their combo was? So I'm reading a lot into it. That's what I do, though, as a former Russian literature professor. It's my job to read into things. All right. Do we find the Boseiju? A belligerent yearling. That's a good one. Still no Boseiju. We gotta force their hand to sack every turn. So that they can't just keep getting back like Haywire Mites or other value cards. We want to keep the pressure on for that very reason. Yep, draw a card. I can't start F6ing probably though through their turn. And also to find out, I mean, it's an interesting deck. I like their deck. But even we can live the dream. We can live the dream. I love how we're able to live our dream, but only when we can't actually kill our opponent. So sad. All right, well, I'm doing it once, even though it's not gonna kill our opponent. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna finally live my dream of turning my belligerent yearling into a 12-2. Even though we're gonna get fogged every turn until we find a Boseiju. Reprieve. Boo and hiss. Boo and hiss. Oh, we have another land for that. Do they have another reprieve? I mean, they're just looking to draw cards. They don't even need to reprieve it, given that they have this fog effect for eternity. Try again. The moment I've been waiting for so long. Look at this attack. Oh, we won't. We won't attack with them. The big attack. I'll keep doing it for a few more minutes. But yeah, I'm living my dream, but they're fogging me every single turn. This is the combo I've been wanting to pull off for so long, and I've never done it because either don't draw it, our opponent dies before I can do it, or opponent interacts in some way, and here we finally got it, but our opponent is consistently fogging us for all of eternity. Oh man. Do we find a Boseiju? I mean, they're going to have more Abiding Graces in their deck too, so. And we're running out of time, so we'll scoop it up here if we don't hit the Boseiju now. Our way to draw. I mean, we got to live our dream. We'll go to game 2 now. Alright, well, oh well. I mean, we could keep playing it out, but I don't really feel like it. I have other things I can do with my time. And we do have some sideboard hate for this matchup. So we'll bring in the Force of Vigors. And probably just... I mean, it's a triggered ability, so we can't... I mean, Pithy Needle might be good just because they're playing some shenanigans. And this will give us some kind of hope We could bring in the Shadow. We already have a lot of trample. Anyway, I'm running back. I would tell our opponent that their deck looks really fun and sweet, but they're not replying to anything I've said, so they're not the type of opponent that would appreciate the chat. We'll keep. Would have liked to have found a Force of Vigor. Maybe we should have done one mulligan. We can't get this Grazer down, unfortunately. But it's best later in the game anyway. So we don't play fetch lands. We could try to play some of these surveil lands in this deck. Our mana base is pretty tight though with what we're trying to. Oh, more bounce lands. We did not want more bounce lands. Very slow start for us. Oops. All on the back of these bounce lands and the Amulet of Vigor we're going to search up that they probably will have an answer for. Another Urza Saga. Alright, well, so we can go ahead and play a bounce land into this Grazer. We're just having the slowest start of all time. So next turn we can play a bounce land. Excuse me, these headphones pinch my ears on her, and then they pinch my glasses. So next turn we can play a bounce land, make a Construct, bounce the Urza Saga. And then have the Regisaur Alpha come down on the following turn. Skyclave Apparition. Or not, we just can do nothing. That's also a possibility. Sure. Get in there, Thraben Inspector. Yeah, we've had we've only drawn lands this game. And none of them have been untapped green sources that lets us actually do something. Alright, see if our opponent continues to find answers for what we're doing. Digging for their pieces. Alright, so that's going to be another card they can just loop on for all time to prevent dying. The question is, let's see what we draw. We're going to get an Amulet of Vigor. So if we play the Sanctuary, we get 2 mana, spend 1 on the Grazer, return it to our hand. Play it again, get 3 mana for 5. Alright, here we go. See how much mana we can make. We can make another land drop. So I think we're going to return this to our hand. Alright, well, we're getting to see some of the power of the deck here. A lot of mana. Gonna return. Doesn't really matter because we have. See if I can have enough mana for it all. Yeah, math is for people who are not like me, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, assuming I have enough damage on board, which I think we do. I mean, I have enough mana to cast everything I wanted to, which we did. So we're going to get a big hit in here, but it's not going to be enough if our opponent... And they have a Solitude. Of course they do. Alright, well, opponent has some sweet... it's a sweet brew. Kind of mono-white, prison-y. Go ahead and get in for 3 instead of what I was hoping to be, which would have been 12. So we really need to hit... Like, Registrar Alpha is such a good card in our deck, because now it would have given any cards we draw after this trample, or haste. Now we are left hoping to draw any sort of creatures, and that our opponent doesn't have their various combos. Abiding Grace, for instance, to get back this Martyr of Sands. I mean, there is a limit to how often much they can gain life with that combo, but now they're having 5 mana for just straight up Solitude. What do we draw? Registrar Alpha. We don't even have the mana to cast it, however, because we... Oh yeah, we do. Sad face, sad face. We did have the mana. We were going to get 6 total because of the 2 amulets, but our opponent's got a Solitude, I'm pretty sure, anyway. So we'll just swing in, see what they do. Yeah, that's the way you do it. So we, I was assuming our opponent has all their mana open, so I assume they have something else. We should have played Registrar Alpha that turn to get maximum value in, but it would have hit for another 3 and then next turn 4, but we'll see. They may have... We don't want to commit everything. There is some logic in us not playing that card, because they might be playing Supreme Verdicts. I'm kind of expecting a Supreme Verdict at this point. They have 4 cards. They went ahead and blocked to keep their life total up. Pick a poison. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Alright. Well, Registrar Alpha time, unless we draw something better. Force of Vigor. That's what we would. That's what we wanted to have as backup for their shenanigans. Oh, we mistapped. We should have tapped the mountain for mana before we returned it to the battlefield, or before we had that other trigger, the bounce land trigger, go on the stack. Because we would have had 4 mana, and that's a good number to have, especially because these, opponent has answers to what we're doing. They can blow up our Amulet of Vigor, and then we're left with a bunch of bounce lands that we can't get value out of anymore. And since we have 3 in our hand, we are incentivized to just keep putting bounce lands on the battlefield and keeping the untapped land in our hand. Alright, see what our opponent has. They have the Supreme Verdict. Something else. 6 mana is a lot. Winds of Abandon. Sure. Well, we thinned our deck significantly there. See what we draw. Dinosaur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play 2 lands. But we don't have anything to do with it, so we'll just return this forest to our hand. Play the forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So next turn we should be able to... I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think if we can get City's Blessing next turn. It depends on what we draw. We can play 2 lands, but the bounce lands are returning lands to our hand, so that's a bit of a combo. Opponent's flooding out pretty hard. See if they have one of their combo pieces. Field of Ruin after the Selesnya Sanctuary. We don't have any more basics. Oh, we do. Did I miss that one? I guess so. Down to 1 card. Getting another plains so that they can start using this 7 plains. So at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 7 or more plains, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we really need to hit City's Blessing and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to have an untapped land and a bounce land, or a creature and a bounce land. Permanent and a bounce land. Galta. That works. So this is going to cost 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did we get there? The 1 card, is it a kill spell? No, it is not. Alright, so we got there. They did not get all their combos in place. They had some hate to fight through what we were doing, but they didn't have the combo to lock us out of the game, and we were able to put enough pressure and draw the right cards at the right time to finish them off. So Pithy Needle, we didn't really see I mean, it does name, we can't name the 1 ring with it. So I think we keep it in there. It's something we can tutor. Shadow Spear would have been good in that spot too. Maybe we bring that in. Now we've seen their Amiria plan. And also Tormod's Crypt is another way of answering what they're trying to do. So maybe we just take out the Yearlings. Take out 1 Tormod's Crypt since we can tutor it up. So this lets us shut off their graveyard shenanigans. We don't just need the Force of Vigors for that. Alright, it's been a really interesting match. We have the Force of Vigor, we have multiple land drops card, but we don't have a basic land. You know, we're going to keep it. What are the chances? We're going to draw something, right? And even if we don't draw a basic land, we can always Urza Saga, then play the bounce land. It's a slow start, but I like what we have our combo piece. We have a way to find the Amulet of Vigor. We have an answer for their shenanigans, and now we have a Galta. So I think all we need is the Amulet of Vigor, which we're not going to get anytime soon because unless we draw an untapped land. Boreal Grazer. Okay, well that's not ideal, but it does give us 2 land drops next turn. So we can cast it. Let's discard down to 7. What do we want to get rid of? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 bounce lands. Do we need all 3 bounce lands? Kind of. We want all of these cards, to be honest. Alright, so we can play next turn the Wayward Swordtooth, play the bounce land and get the Saga back. Demolition Field. Alright, never mind. We will get the forest. So we protected Urza Saga though. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we can go ahead and play the Grazer, get the bounce land, bounce the forest, and have the Wayward Swordtooth to play. Next turn. You know, the last game, it went really well for us when we basically held on to everything until we were ready to go off. In this game, we're missing the Amulet of Vigor, and we're going to get it, but we don't have another bounce land because they destroyed one when we sacked one. So let's see what they go get. If they go get some of their combo piece, we might end up not getting an Amulet of Vigor, but we'll see. Just going after Haywire Might. Yeah, all the hate in the world. Alright, we really want to hit some lands, basically. Hammer Skull is not a land. We can make a Construct. We can go ahead and force a Vigor this Haywire Might since it's going to wreck our day, but it's not a waste of time. I think we just want to run out Hammer Skulls. We're down to under 5 minutes and our opponent's at 16. Yeah, this deck takes practice, and playing it well is not the easiest. Yeah, they're going to get rid of our Urza Saga, sure. See what else they have. The One Ring, okay. Land, maybe? Okay, they have one ring protection, so we are not going to swing in. Next turn, though, we can play a Galta. Spring Verdict, yep. Haywire Might. Next turn, we can play a Wayward Swordtooth and a Tormod's Crypt. Yep, got a lot of cards. Have all the manas. Another Verdict. Biting Grace. We could go ahead and pitch a Galta to exile this. I kind of don't want to. I'd rather just. I don't know. This might not be the right play. I kind of want to just see what we draw. Haywire Might is not like the end all and be all for us right now. So we have 5 mana. We can play 2 land drops. This costs 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 5. We can play bounce land and make that base 6 land, so we can't really do that. Alright, so we will... Continue playing very slowly. We don't want to play this Tormod's Crypt out into their Haywire Might, so we're just going to pass the turn. We did not get our Galt out the way we wanted. And even if we do, we might just be losing the time because we've been playing so slowly and we played out game 1 too long. Elspeth, being Elspeth. Alright. And they're going to just try to kill us dead, and that's fine. Whoops, nope. Alright, cancel. Alright, can we get this Galta down? I don't think so. We only have the 2 green, unfortunately. So we can do Regisaur Alpha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're just missing green again. Can we steal a win? They have so many cards. It would have been nice. Maybe we should have ran out the Regisaur Alpha there. And then set up for the surprise attack with Galta. If we draw a forest here, they're gonna gain so much life. And now we can't just have 6 because we have the Tormod's Crypt. The opponent's getting to do their thing. 12 cards in hand. All kinds of synergies. Go up to 34. That's nice. It's a Fairy Time Raveler. Yeah, I mean, we can scoop it up. They basically have all of their combos online. And they're at 34. So there's not much of a chance we're going to win. If the 0 chance basically at this point. Going to 3. Skyclave Apparition to get the Wayward Swordtooth, I imagine. And we will, whoops, sacrifice our Tormod's Crypt. Haha, gotcha. Boom. That's how we do. Is there a world that we can get down the Galta next turn if we draw a forest untapped? Kessig Wolf Run. Nope, there is not. So we got that. That is going to be 7 power. It would make this a 5 mana spell, so we still wouldn't be able to get it down. Given that we only have 3 mana. So anyway, GG's. This is Johnny Cycles for cyclesgaming.com. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll catch you on the next one. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Janky with Johnny Cycles. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my website, cyclesgaming.com, for original Magic the Gathering content. You can read about my Commander decks or my Janky Modern brews. My latest article is about the Zombie Precon and its effect on Commander. give you a couple different deck lists. If you're interested in a science fiction / fantasy novel, be sure to check out my book, The Podcon. I'm publishing it serially, a couple chapters every month. Again, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube, Johnny Cycles. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next one.